Let's talk to former Sky Blues assistant manager Tim Flowers, who, I was right, 11 caps for England, part of the squad in France back in 1998. Hi, Tim.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us this morning. He sounds really deflated, doesn't he, Roy? But it does that to you, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, Roy's an outstanding coach and manager.
Here.
I played for him at Blackburn.
Yeah.
And he's probably the best coach I ever played for. So, yeah, he'd be very, very downhearted this morning. I mean, it looked for every inch that we were going to get a point once Rooney equalised, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be, and we've been warned over the season with Suarez. I mean, he's been probably the standout player in the Premier League, and of course he popped up and destroyed us really with, 2 chances. He didn't look at his best over the 90 minutes, but still well sharp enough when he's presented with those kind of chances.
Yeah, people are on Twitter saying, thank God he wasn't fit, otherwise goodness knows what he'd have done. And it was when you see the slow-mos, Tim, that you realise how much his legs are still under pressure. He's nowhere near fully fit, is he?
No, he wasn't. And I mean, in little tiny bursts, he was still devastating, but over the course of 90 minutes, we've seen him for Liverpool this year, where he's been just a menace for the full duration. But he played in fits and starts, but... it's a free header, the first goal, which is disappointing. His run should probably get tracked there. And then, of course, the confusion not long after we've equalised, and you're thinking, well, a point's not the worst going into the Costa Rica game. And of course, he's not going to pass up that kind of chance 1v1 with Joe Hart, and he just puts his laces through it. And
what about, and I'm glad it's you this morning, because I did want to talk about Joe Hart's performance. I know you're not, I don't want you to point a finger at a fellow professional, but you've been there, you've worn the jersey, and you know what it feels like, Tim. And I just wonder, to me, and I don't know whether you know Joe personally, but I don't know the guy, but he looked frightened to death last night from the moment he came. When he was interviewed by Gabby Wasserface, he looked frightened to death in that. Does he just always look frightened to death?
No, I think I know Joe well. I mean, I was at Manchester City when we took him to City. I mean, he was at Shrewsbury, and we had a shout that there was a good young kid there. And I had like a season ticket at Game Meadow for about 15 home games on the belt, and Stuart Pearce was sending me him. And I thought it was a no-brainer. And he was always, I said to him 2 or 3 weeks after working with him, you'll get 100 caps. I had no doubt in my mind that he had everything. And I mean, I can't criticise him for last night. If you're presenting Suarez a free header, 7 or 8 yards out in the middle of the goals, he's not going to pass that up.
No. Once you've let Suarez get that
Mm.
close, it's not about your goalkeeper anymore, is it? Really, it's about why you've let him get that close.
Yeah,
isn't it?
as a goalkeeper, you're getting your coat when he's that close. The second goal was the real killer for me. I mean, obviously it was Steve Gerrard that flicked the ball through. For me, centre halves have got to come and dominate that. That's a ball from back to front. We're a little bit deep, and I think one of the 2 centre halves should come and clear that out and clear Gerrard out of the way as well. And obviously that puts Suarez through. He reads it. He's Johnny on the spot again. He's alive. And as he pulls the trigger, I was thinking at the time he's going to fall over. It looked like his legs had buckled.
Gone. Yeah, they were buckling, weren't they? Yeah,
he was absolutely shot. But he did what all good strikers do, and he just got his head down and hit it as hard as he could. And when he's that close, unless it hits you as a goalkeeper, hits you in the chest or the head or something, he's going to score.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing. I mean, I found myself watching the replay and thinking, well, Hart didn't stand up enough, but, if he'd have stood up more, you say, well, he didn't spread himself enough, so you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't as a keeper, aren't you?
You're spot on. No, you're spot on with that. I mean, you try and spread yourself, and if it hits you in the chest, then everyone's saying, what a fantastic save.
Yeah.
If it goes above where your shoulder was, then they're going to say, well, why didn't you stand up?
Why didn't you stand up, you fool? What's the matter with you? And in terms of his confidence, is that gonna? I mean, again, the lad. I mean, is he resilient? Because it's a tough thing, isn't it? Whether you are to blame as a keeper, you take it personally, don't you? I guess.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you're the last line of defence, and it goes past you. Yeah, listen, Joe's a very stable character. We've got this last game against Costa Rica, and he'll stand firm. He's coming in age-wise and physically to the prime of his career. He's had a steep learning curve. Obviously, won the championship twice at City, and everything's been plain sailing for him. So you have to cope with these things as a goalkeeper, whether it's at club or level or for your country. But yeah, listen, for me, Joe's the standout goalkeeper in England, and still is. So yeah, I've got no qualms that he'll bounce back.
And what about individual performances? Sturridge, I thought was great. I thought Baines was quite bright as well last night. Cahill I mean, was playing out of his socks last night, wasn't he, really? I mean, there's some good individual performances there and something we should presumably take heart from.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, and along with the Italy game as well, where I thought we were very good. What we've done, I think, in the friendlies in Miami and also the 2 group games, we showed that we're becoming a very potent attacking team. We're creating chances, and Roy's got lots of different options in terms of personnel up there. What we have done in certainly the first game in Miami, we've conceded a free header from the first cross of the game. The Balotelli scores a free header back stick for Italy, and Suarez scores a free header in the middle of the goal. So defensively, we've got to tighten up a bit. We got messed around with Italy with the right back bombing on and a lad coming inside the pitch off his perch. We've got 2 sitting midfield players when we're out of possession, so they have to flood areas there a little bit better and maybe communicate. But going forward and attacking, I think we're a really good developing side, and I agree 100% with you. I mean, obviously I was writing notes down with it last night. I thought Sturridge and Cahill were our 2 standout players. I thought Sturridge was bright for 90. I thought Cahill was a man mountain at the back. Every time the ball came in the box, it seemed to be his head or body that got on the end of it. So, I thought they were the 2. I agree totally.
Sturridge has got to learn to fall over a bit better, hasn't he? Because he didn't get enough free kicks, and he was hacked to bits at one stage. And we don't fall over like the Europeans and the South Americans do. We've got to work on that, Tim, I tell you. That's
we haven't. I mean, I can't remember. It made an interesting... It was Glenn Hoddle, I think, on the telly, and he said it's not in our DNA.
No.
And it isn't. We're brought up from the earliest ages at school and the Sunday League. If I fell over playing for Coventry Dynamo in the Coventry Minor League when I was 12, the manager would have probably subbed me, do you know what I mean, and said, stand up like a man. But as you get older, and you get to progress to the very top of the pyramid, like these lads are, playing at now, you have. If they touch, you go down. And I know it's not cheating.
It's the way of the game, isn't it?
It's part of the game. I mean, I'm working for Confused.com down here today, and they've put together a team of the most highly insured. Or the most highly insured player in the world. The arms and legs of different people, and the 2 legs are Messi and Suarez.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, they're the sort of players that if you touch them in and around the box, bang, they're over.
They'll go,
The free kick's going in the top corner.
Tim, good to talk to you, mate. Is Kidderminster still for you, is it?
No, I went in and helped my mate for the last 13 games there. I'm going to Notts Forest next year with Stuart. I'm going to do the goalkeepers there. Along with Steve Wigley and Brian Eastick, who they're the staff.
All right.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Back in the Championship, and I'm looking forward to it.